Am I the asshole for asking my partner if she sits on the toilet seat? My 24M partner, 22 MTF, have been together for nearly 4 years and just got our own place. I purchased a couple of those clip-on-the-toilet bowl fresheners for our bathroom, but upon installing it, realized it goes over the rim of the bowl. I realized this could be an issue for my girlfriend, as I wasn't sure if she used the toilet seat or sat on the rim of the toilet. For some context, I'm 6 feet 0 and 150 pounds, so I'm a thin guy. I always use the seat, and if a toilet doesn't have a seat, I hover because I will straight up fall into a toilet if I'm not careful. My partner, however, is 6 feet 0 and 280 pounds. I don't consider her fat. I never think of her as fat. And I'm always trying to tell her how good she looks. I've never been a not thin guy, and I know people who are larger than me tend to use the toilet stand seat, and sit on the rim of the bowl. In all our 4 years together, I've never taken note of how she uses the toilet, so I asked her, "Do you use the toilet with the seat up or the seat down?" She was confused at first, and I should have deduced the answer from that, but I'm a little stupid. After explaining my question in more detail, she asked if I was calling her fat. Of course, I replied with, "No," and explained it wasn't about weight. I just wanted to be sure the toilet freshener wouldn't keep her from using the toilet. She was offended anyways, and I felt at the time that it was a bit unreasonable to feel that way. We had a bit of back and forth regarding that and agreed to disagree. That was yesterday. Today, she brought it up again, and I told her that I maintain my question was not about her being fat or not, and that it was only because I wanted to make sure she wasn't going to be disrupted by the toilet freshener. She called me an asshole for defending my question and doesn't believe that my question was not about her weight. She asked if I was sorry at all, and I told her, honestly, no, I don't feel like I've done anything wrong or that I was being rude. She called me an asshole again and stormed off. I'm left here at my desk starting to wonder if I am an asshole. I should have just apologized, and typically I do, but I really felt like I didn't do anything wrong. My apology wouldn't have been a lie. I am sorry that I've upset her. But on the topic of AITA, I'm not so sure anymore. The stakes on this are super low, by the way. I'm trying to figure out if I'm missing a perspective here that makes me an asshole. We'll talk about it tonight, no doubt, and go to bed happy with each other. We don't ever really fight and rarely disagree, so I figured, why not let Reddit weigh in? Thanks in advance. Not safe for work because mentions of toilets? IDK. Edit to add. So here's what I've learned today. A. I have a very strange family. B. I failed to realize that I was making an assumption based on very limited data. The assumption being that some people don't use the toilet seat, and the data limited to the maybe 15 people I've ever witnessed using the restroom in 24 years of life. C. I am, in fact, very sorry to my girlfriend for being such a naive ass and asking what I now realize was a profoundly stupid question. In all, I'm glad to have posted here. In the future, I'll carefully consider exactly why I think something is true and on what data I base that belief. I talked with my girlfriend, laid it all out, and decided to take my lumps, though she offered none. We had a good talk, and she and I are back to playing Factorio and Baldur's Gate 3 respectively. What exactly do you think the seat is there for? Nobody sits on the rim. I am very confused as to why you think sitting on the rim is normal. Like, maybe not an asshole situation, but definitely odd? What? You are the asshole, and so are your parents, for making it to 24 thinking people sit on the rim of the bowl instead of the toilet seat. Your partner is probably as confused as we all are. And yeah, I'd kind of wonder if you were calling me fat too, if it made any sense at all. I read the post, but I don't get it. Someone explain it to me like I'm 5. I'm having all kinds of questions, and I am sure I don't want answers to them. Am I the asshole for not letting friends from out of town stay at my home? My 30F boyfriend, 35M, has 2 friends who live in another state. Let's call them Jack and Liz. They want to come visit us in our state with their 4 children, ages ranging from 5–10. I live in the downtown area of our city while my boyfriend lives about 1 hour away in the suburbs. My house is close to where I go to school full-time, about a 5-minute walk, and also close to where I work, 10-minute walk to my first job, 10-minute drive to my second job. I live with my 3 dogs, and because of my busy schedule, I have a dog walker come every day to feed and care for them. When Jack and Liz come to visit with their kids, they are asking to stay at my house. Here's the thing though. They want me to leave my house so that their family can stay there with complete privacy. I think it is also worth noting that I have never met or spoken to Jack and Liz before. They are my boyfriend's friends and not mine. Also, they are originally from our city, so they have their parents and family members who still live here. They seem pretty wealthy mostly because they tell my boyfriend that they are. Liz is a Som and has never worked before because Jack has had multiple inheritances from deceased family members and he brags about his high-paying job. They also own about 10 rental properties that they collect passive income from. Believe they bought these houses with the inheritances. Before meeting Jack, Liz also did not work because her family is wealthy and supported her. The thing is, my commute to work and school, I have one or both 7 days a week, is over an hour each way from my boyfriend's house in the suburbs. I already have such long days that changing my commute to be 2+ hours a day, even for a week, is giving me anxiety with all of the stuff I have going on between work and school. Also, I don't have anyone to walk my dogs at my boyfriend's house, and even if I were to hire a dog walker, he doesn't want a stranger having access to enter his house. Finally, it would just be really uncomfortable to have to leave my own home, and I am also nervous about having young children running around my house when I am not there and my home is not child-proofed. So, am I the asshole? My boyfriend seems disappointed in me because I am not opening my home to his friends and I am already making a bad impression on them. He also thinks that I am doing this because I am deciding to not like them based on what I know about them, just what I've heard from him. Stuff like they are always asking to use my streaming logins but keep logging me out. When their dogs get old they abandon them at shelters so they can make room for new puppies. I do think that this kind of stuff bothers me, but I think that even if it were my own friends making this housing request of me, I would tell them to get a hotel or stay at their parents' houses. Edit to add. My boyfriend lost both his parents young, when he was 16 and 22, and he doesn't have siblings or much extended family. He considers his friends from high school as his family. I am trying to be sensitive to his situation, because essentially he thinks that I should be more accommodating to his friends, since they are his family. Not the asshole. This would be a hard hell no for me. I wouldn't even do that if they were my friends. Edit to add. The first time I was logged out of my own streaming service I would change to password and not give it out anymore. Not the asshole. You're not an Airbnb. That they want you to leave your house, dogs and lifestyle for a week for strangers is ridiculous. This is a 2 yes, 1 no situation. Why is the boyfriend so concerned with their comfort and not yours? Not the asshole. Why is this even up for discussion? You don't know these people. Not your problem. Not the asshole. And you don't have a housing issue, you have a boyfriend issue. See this for the red flag it is and value your self-respect above the approval of a crappy partner. Ask your boyfriend why his friends' feelings are more important than yours. They can easily stay somewhere. Do not feel obligated and cave. Do not let them stay at your house. Am I the asshole for watching skateboarding videos and not acting on my GF's body language? So end of the eve, we're going to the supermarket to get snacks. Before that my girlfriend recommends we watch Bob's Burgers. We go to the shop, come back, my friend and my girlfriend go to living room and my friend puts on some skateboarding YouTube video. I start watching it with them. And forget about the Bob's Burgers recommendation. So, at this point my girlfriend says, "Ooh, I don't like this," and honestly, I don't think I heard her, because I would have taken it on board. Anyway, we carry on. After the video I go, "Ooh, there's a better skateboarding video," and put it on. So at one point during the video my girlfriend gets up and starts leaving the room. I ask her where she's going. She says, "To get my Pepsi," so all is good. She comes back, watches most of the video, then leaves around 2 minutes before it ends. At this point I guess she didn't want to watch that. I go to our room 30 minutes later and ask what's up. She says nothing. I ask her to promise nothing is wrong. She says yep, nothing is wrong. After 10 minutes I go, "You know, however big or small, you can talk to me about anything," and I eventually get out of her that she was really uncomfortable watching the skateboarding videos. To which I respond, "Oh, you could have said something and I would have turned it off immediately." Now this is the am I the asshole bit. Am I the asshole for not immediately apologizing and saying I'll pick up on your body language more next time? Because as soon as I said, "You could have said something," my girlfriend starts to get very agitated and saying I'm not taking accountability for my actions and I'm blaming her for everything. I tried apologizing a bunch of times but she was having none of it. At one point I was apologizing and trying to take accountability and then she gets her phone out and starts watching Instagram videos, to which I say, "Sorry, I was talking." No response. "Okay, I'll go to sleep then," and I turn over, quite pissed off that she was ignoring my attempts to apologize. 15 minutes later, she says, "That's a nope then," and then we have a bit of a discussion where I say, "I tried to apologize and take accountability but you went on your phone and ignored me. That pissed me off," to which she said, "You pissed me off by watching those videos and not acting on my body language which you definitely knew about." It ended with her saying, "This hasn't been resolved. I'm not going to talk to you tomorrow." A bit later asked for a Valium because she was in such a bad mood she thought she wouldn't be able to sleep, and then said, "Great. Now I'm probably going to sleep in and have a shit day at work tomorrow thanks to you." She eventually left to sleep in the spare bedroom, woke up the next day, before me, which never happens, got her things together and left for work via taxi. We always drive together. So, am I the asshole for not acting on my GF's body language when we were watching something she didn't want to watch? Because it's caused quite a fallout and I really thought communication would have prevented all of this. Not the asshole. Don't be held accountable for someone else's poor communication and unspoken expectations. There's red flags all over this. I had an ex like this, and you should too. Not the asshole. Not everyone picks up on body language, that's why she has a mouth and can voice her feelings. Her silent treatment after you tried to apologize is also pretty immature. Not the asshole. She sounds childish and manipulative. She needs to use her words if she's upset. Not the asshole. She seems to be playing mind games with you. It would be nice if she would act like an adult and communicate appropriately rather than get mad, shut you out, and blame you for the whole situation. Also, it's not like you were watching porn or something that could be upsetting, triggering. You were watching skateboarding videos for goodness sake. Am I the asshole for not immediately apologizing and saying I'll pick up on your body language more next time? Absolutely not. Not the asshole. Your girlfriend is playing a power and control move on you. She is the one who should be held accountable. Am I the asshole for not attending my sibling's wedding after the entire family cut me out for no real reason? My 33 parents divorced when I was 17, I'm the eldest. We were pretty much always a dysfunctional family. My siblings and I were just about geeky enough to not wander the streets and get into too much trouble when my parents were either working long hours or just napping and not caring about us. My mom made domestic abuse accusations against my dad, and made me testify against him. He got community hours, and he cut ties with the family around the divorce. I haven't seen or spoken to him since. I got a severe depression, realizing later through many therapy sessions it was due to my guilt, and it took me a few years to get more balanced and cut the meds. The depression led to cutting ties with the few friends I already had, and to this day I'm pretty lonely. My mom also cut ties with her parents, which later passed away, her sister and many other family members due to many unsound reasonings, so we were pretty isolated. Following the divorce, we continued as even more dysfunctional. I won't spill out all the details, but it wasn't great. Luckily, I started college, met a girl, moved out, got married and tried to keep in touch with my family as much as I could. Although it didn't feel right, and part of me always wanted to cut ties, but I fought to keep in touch. When we had our firstborn, I happily told its name to my mom, and she reacted hysterically, saying it's a bad name and will ruin its future and that we must change it. I got really offended, and she reacted by refusing to apologize, even though I didn't even ask her to, and later she just stopped talking to me, along with my siblings who stopped talking to me too. Mind you, she just had her first grandchild, who was less than a week old, and she cut all ties altogether. I tried to get in touch for months through calls and texts, but nothing. Later, when we had a one-time phone call, she blamed it all on my wife, accusing her of hating my family. When in reality, my wife always tried to make us come together, even when I didn't want to. My mom blamed me for siding with my wife, and said they stopped talking to me due to my decision of being my wife's bitch. Even after they cut ties, my wife wanted to try to make it right, but I prevented her, realizing it was a lost cause. Now, a few years later, with resurfaced depression and emotional damages from feeling like an orphan with living parents or at least an unwanted child, after many therapy sessions and self-work and many issues I had of my own, I worked extremely hard to have a happy family of my own. Now one of my siblings are engaged to be married, and their fiancé invited me to their wedding. They haven't spoken to me since I became a parent a few years ago, along with the rest of the family. I'm fearing falling back into depression after I got it together, and I honestly don't want to see or talk to any of them. I suspect they invited me only to appear as a more normal family. Am I the asshole for not wanting to go? Not the asshole they cut you off, so I don't know why they're inviting you. If you feel happy where you are now and your mental health is stable, don't go and don't feel bad for it. And your mom started fighting over how you named your child, WTF. I'm all not the asshole, but you and your therapist should be tight on this one. A couple of visits in order to process your thinking with an objective listener seem appropriate. Not the asshole. Your mother seems to be the root cause of a lot of the issues. She made you testify against your father with allegations of abuse. Was he actually abusive? Is she doing to you what she did to him? She mocked your child's name and, according to your story, hasn't made any effort to be a part of your child's life. If I were you, I'd politely decline attendance at this wedding, and focus on yourself and your family. You seem to be a work in progress, and attending the wedding may set your progress back a bit if you're not emotionally solid. Do what's best for you. Good luck. If you feel bad, send them a present and apology for not going so you know you did something for them and they can't say you did nothing. Other than that, take care of your wife and child as they are what is most important. And if you ever feel lonely, just know you will have a child who will grow up without all the shit you went through and will never want you to be out of their life, and you will protect them from what you went through. You sound like a brilliant bloke and a good husband and father. Keep up the good work, man. Not the asshole. What the ever-loving F. You've worked so hard to be as emotionally stable and happy as you are. Don't ruin it because of these people who cut you off over a name. It won't be a good time and just opens the door for your mother to draw you into more drama. The only thing that ties you to this particular group of people is an accident of birth. Focus on the people that you have chosen to have in your life, instead.